Hmm. Hello.
Hey, Serena.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Are you home or at work? You're
I'm
home.
at home.
I'm like, I don't recognize that room.
Yes. How are you ladies?
Very good.
Good.
So we're going to get this all set up here. Bear with us for one moment while we do technological things. And see if I can change this around. How's that? Yeah. Is that okay? Yep. Okay. We are recording. Very good. Okay. So, are we comfortable with where we're at? Okay, cool. So welcome. Thank you for being here. And my name is Alicia. This is Stephanie. And we are really stoked to share this topic with you. I think it's safe to say we're both summer babies. Stephanie is actually a summer baby. Yesterday was your birthday, right? Was it just yesterday? Sunday. Oh my God. Okay. I'm a day behind. So, and I was born the end of April, but meant to be a summer baby. So we're going to share with you just tips, tricks, ideas, and really awesome ways to incorporate your essential oils into your summer, whether you're at home, barbecuing, picnicking, in your pool, in your backyard, or whether you're on the go traveling for summer. So should we just dive right in?
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about lots and lots of different oils, and then give you tips and tricks and things that we make, and so we're just kind of gonna throw out lots of information.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're going to start with, oh, my dog is here. He's not usually, so he might distract me from time to time. We're gonna start with the idea of fun in the sun. So the first oil we're going to talk about is peppermint essential oil. So this can be used in a cooling spray, and I love this idea. It's like air conditioning in a bottle. So you can have any glass or metal spray container, and you can fill it up with peppermint and distilled water. What would you say, about 20 drops?
So for, like this is a 2-ounce bottle. I know it's not the peppermint spray, but we'll turn it this way.
There.
So for a 2-ounce bottle, I would do about 10 drops. I think more than that, you're just wasting it. 10 drops in 2 ounces of water is plenty. This is double, so we had to make double because we clearly use a lot of it. So this is double, so I did 20 drops of peppermint and then filled it with distilled water. The other fun part, so my kids will come in after playing outside for a few hours and spray down themselves, which it gives you that cooling, relaxing, refreshing feeling, but it also makes them smell really good because they don't smell so good. So yeah. But the other thing you can do is you can actually throw this in the fridge.
Cool
so
down
if
the
you
water.
throw it in the fridge, it cools down the water, and then is even more, and it's totally safe to spray this on your face, to spray it down your body. We do, like, I'll close my eyes and spritz my face. It's very diluted, so it's not gonna hurt anything, and it smells really good. So that's a really, really fun tip.
Perfect for the summer.
Yeah, and if you're traveling, going to the beach, gonna be on the water, things like that, I would make one up and have it ready to go.
Absolutely. We're all about convenience. I think we've shared that in every single live that we've done here. If you don't have things ready to go and you have to make them, it can be a lot more difficult. So if you just take an afternoon, take an hour out of the day, make all your stuff, you're all good to go. Let's see. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you for inviting friends. Absolutely. The more the merrier. All right, so next up is lavender. Lavender is calming and soothing to the skin, also to the emotions, little side note. But this is a really great thing to have around for sunburn. So Stephanie has an awesome sunburn relief spray recipe, which is peppermint, lavender, aloe vera gel, distilled water.
Yeah. And I do add, like this is, again, a 2-ounce bottle. So think I do 5 drops lavender, 5 drops peppermint, and I add 2 drops of
Oh, and
frankincense.
frankincense.
Because frankincense is really good for skin as well.
Forgot that.
A little bit of aloe. And then you can also do this. This is probably our most used summertime product. If you've been outside and like my little guy gets always, no matter what, always gets like sun kissed under his eyes. He'll shower at night and then I'll have him close his eyes, spray down his face, and the next morning that like slight redness is gone. And yeah, protect your skin and all of that kind of stuff. But when you're outside and feeling sun-kissed or even just need that cooling, refreshing feeling, again, this can go in the fridge.
Absolutely.
So, it doesn't have to be. We tend not to because then I have to think about opening the fridge.
You leave it at home.
Remembering that it's there. But my kids know, shake it up real fast, spritz your face, I used it on my brother over Memorial Day weekend. He got burned because he didn't put any sunscreen on. So we sprayed down his back. It'll prevent peeling. Really calm the skin down. And it's because of what we're using in there. The lavender is calming and soothing to the skin. The peppermint is going to be cooling. So you combine the two of those. And then frankincense is just a phenomenal oil altogether and will really help with the healing and the cell regeneration of the skin.
Again, you're going to also smell great. Just a little extra. Okay, so next up is lemon essential oil. And this is great for lightening your hair. So think back to your sun-in days, right? If you were like me, I always wanted like a big blonde streak right here for some reason. So you can combine with water in a spray bottle and spray it on your hair before spending time out in the sun.
So this is like a 8-ounce spray bottle.
It's a huge one.
Yeah. And we just make it up. The kids like to spray their, we were big sun-in babies. We're all blonde. So my mom would spray our hair down with sun-in. We'd be bleach blonde by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
And I found out recently, a couple years ago, that my sister was still using sun-in.
Oh my gosh, did you switch her to this?
Funny. Yeah. So I'm like, do you know you can just use lemon? It's much safer. It's
absolutely.
So we'll keep this. We actually keep a bottle of this right at the lake house. And if we're going outside, we'll spray down like natural highlights, saving yourself money, right?
There you go.
Now, again, it smells good.
Right, and you smell great. So if you were a brunette and you used sun-in, your hair just turned orange.
Yeah,
by the end of summer,
red, orange,
it turned like a really awful reddish orange.
Yep.
All right, do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, so we're going to jump to spending time outdoors. So as the weather gets really nice, finally, right, we're finally seeing nice weather.
Yes.
We spend a lot more time outside. The windows are open. So there's lots of different things. We're more active. We're enjoying that nice weather. But then because we're more active, we're getting some aches and pains. We're getting exposed to bugs and things like that, creepy critters. And then our skin might be exposed to different elements like poison ivy or poison oak or things like that, because we're outside doing yard work and landscaping and hiking. And so when we do all of those things, each individual item that I just mentioned, there's oils that we can help protect ourselves with. So if we're more active, we're outside, we're hiking, we're doing, water activities. When our muscles and joints begin to ache, we can use Deep Blue. So we have the Deep Blue oil, which is a blend, and then we have the Deep Blue rub.
My favorite.
And you can take, like, if you like the rub form, you can take that rub, or you can take the oil and just combine it with like a coconut oil, shea butter, and make a rub yourself if you like DIY stuff. But you can actually use it, if you know you're going to be really active, you can use it before, preventatively, and it will help your muscles and joints, and then definitely afterwards as well. So if you notice you're going to bed and you're like, ooh, ow, I worked those muscles a little more than they're used to, just get some Deep Blue on, and it'll help reduce that inflammation. It'll help soothe those muscles and joints. So that's one thing.
My friend shared with me that she used Deep Blue after she went camping. She was like, I'm not as young as I used to be. I went camping and now my hip hurts. So she was rubbing it on her hip and got a lot of relief from the pain.
The second thing is, and we're seeing a lot of this now because it took spring a little bit longer to get here.
Yeah.
So we're seeing, or I'm having a lot of inquiries about bug and tick repellent. There's a beautiful blend that doTERRA makes called TerraShield, and this comes in an actual like oil bottle form, and then this is a diluted, ready to use spray bottle. So that's one option. I also have some great recipes for bug repellent and tick repellent. I tend not to do my own thing and like to blend different oils. So oils like TerraShield, lemongrass, geranium, really good. I know I'm missing a few. Cedarwood is good for bug repellent. So you can kind of play around with those and create your own bug sprays, tick repellents. And then what you use as a base is also different. So for our bug spray, which we've been using for almost 4 years, I think I use a little bit of coconut oil, a little bit of witch hazel, distilled water, and then a blend of essential oils. And then for our tick repellent, I actually use some vinegar because I read a lot about vinegar being a really good tick repellent. And again, a different blend of oils for that. So spray that on your body, on your clothing, before going out into an environment when you're going to be exposed to bugs. So if you're going on a hike, spray down. If you're going to be out by a bonfire, spray down.
Biking.
What else? Biking.
Camping.
Yeah, camping. All of that stuff. But what you're spraying on yourself is safe, and it's not filled with chemicals. So it's not everything we put on our skin is being absorbed into our bodies. So we don't want to put chemicals on our bodies. We want to put things that are going to work.
Things that are natural.
But are natural, yeah.
Things that our bodies recognize and can absorb. Yeah.
So all of those oils work. The other thing you can do, and I didn't bring this with me, and it might be later in the class, but if you're sitting out at a bonfire or if you're on your back porch or patio, if you have access to an outlet, you can plug a diffuser in and put the TerraShield blend right in the diffuser, and it will help repel bugs. If you're by a bonfire, so I don't know about anyone else, but our bonfire is nowhere near electric.
Right.
So they make cute little battery-powered diffusers, and we put that like right on a log near the bonfire with the TerraShield going, just to help. I mean, the smoke and stuff is also going to repel bugs, but it's just smells good again.
And also becoming a human diffuser. I love when you told me that. So
Yeah.
I have my diffuser bracelet on here. It's made from lava. And you could put the TerraShield right on your bracelet, or if you have a diffuser necklace, that's a great way to always have your oils with you when you're on the go.
Right. So the next thing is lavender, which we already talked about being great for skin. So if there's any burns, we talked about using it for sunburn, but it's also fantastic for bug bites and bee stings. We've used it a lot. It's a natural antihistamine. So when you put it on your skin, it's going to bring that inflammation down, and that allergy reaction that we have to a bug bite or a bee sting, that itchy,
Takes that itchiness away.
Feeling, it takes it away. So my little niece, is very allergic to mosquitoes. So she got a couple bug bites on her face over Memorial Day weekend, and her eye was all swollen. So we have a little rollerball blend with diluted lavender and actually melaleuca, which we'll talk about in a minute. And we rubbed that not near her eye, but just rubbed it around. And the next morning it was very much less swollen, which was nice because she didn't look very good. So she has a reaction to that. So that's really good for bug bites and bee stings. It's also good for rashes. So when we're outside and we're hiking and things like that, we're being exposed to some poisonous plants.
Yeah.
Every single year I get poison ivy. I have it on my toe right now.
Already? It's a little early.
Typically the past 2 summers I've been just about covered because I do yard work and don't protect myself. This year I just have a little spot on my toe, but lavender will help that heal. And we make another spray. I have lots of sprays for the summertime.
You do.
We make an itch relief spray that has lavender in it. That's great to spray down any poison ivy, poison oak, things like that. Breathe essential oil. If we're outside, we're seeing lots of pollen affect us. If you have seasonal allergies, Breathe is a great blend.
Absolutely.
It's our respiratory blend. You can diffuse this at night. I love to throw it in the diffuser near like your nightstand so that you're breathing it in throughout the night. But it's also good to use topically to use on your diffuser jewelry. They make, do you have a Breathe drop?
I actually have one right here, yeah. So they make the Breathe throat drops, which taste really, really good.
And then they also make the Breathe vapor stick, which looks like a glue stick.
But it's not.
But it has the Breathe blend in there. So great to apply to your chest and things like that. If congestion or respiratory issues are popping up.
Yeah. And if you have seasonal allergies like I do, Breathe is an absolute must-have. It's in the diffuser. It's on my diffuser bracelet. I'm sucking on the throat drops throughout the day. I'm putting a drop in my hand, cupping and breathing. It's really one I go through very quickly because I'm using it, I'd say 2 to 3 times a day during allergy season, which we're still kind of in the height of now because we're having this late spring. So it's a really good one.
And the other recommendation I would make is don't wait until you're symptomatic,
right?
Until you're all congested, your eyes are watering, red, partially swollen,
can't breathe.
shut. Like, be proactive if you know pollen affects you, or if you know you're going to a picnic and you're going to be outside all day. Use some extra oils the day before to protect and boost your immune system, and then use prior and then use after as well.
Right. Don't wait
so
until
don't
you're
wait
suffering.
until you're
Absolutely.
And the last thing for outside, I mentioned lavender, and the other one is melaleuca. So melaleuca is tea tree oil. It's antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. So we use it a lot in our house, but great outside if you get exposed to poison ivy or poison oak or any sort of rashy plant. It will help with the discomfort. So combining the two.
I would think even like heat rashes, it would help with that. If you get like
Yeah.
heat rashes from being outside and overdoing it with your yard work or your bike ride. I know we all go 110% when it gets nice out. Like, I'm going to go for a 6-hour hike instead of a 45-minute hike. So if you overdo it and you get the heat rash, I think melaleuca would help with that too. All right, so next up is travel. So when we travel during the summertime, it's really easy in general to get thrown off of your routine, right? You're not in your home, you don't have all your goodies with you, and it's easy to just throw caution to the wind. But then usually within a couple days, you don't feel your best self because you're not taking care of yourself. So I've gotten accustomed to always having the oils with me on the go. I should have brought my little keychain. Oh, you have it.
Yeah.
Stephanie is the most organized person in the world, and I love it so much. So doTERRA makes these amazing little keychains that you know, you can clip right onto your bag or inside of your purse. There's 8 little mini drams of oils that you can pack with you on the go. So when you're on the go, you want to have definitely On Guard, the protective blend, with you. This is great for boosting your immune system. It's really great for protecting you from all of the germs when you're traveling. So if you're going on a plane, if you're going to be on a bus, train, you know, just around a lot of people, kind of in a confined area where a lot of germs tend to live, great to have On Guard with you. So I'll often take from the keychain a drop of the On Guard and I'll use it as a natural hand sanitizer. doTERRA now also makes an On Guard sanitizing mist, which I have in my bag but not in front of me, but it's just like this. So I take that with me now too. You can also add a drop of the On Guard to your hot cup of water with a little honey. It tastes great. I know it's Stephanie's son's favorite tea, right? He calls it his little tea. And you can also just put a drop of On Guard right into your water and drink it. So it's really great for all of that. You can use it before you travel, while you travel, and after you travel. So like Stephanie was just saying, don't wait until you've got something going on. Start ahead, continue throughout your travels, and then when you get home, keep diffusing it. It's great in the diffuser. Oh yeah, and
then the other
beadlets.
thing that doTERRA has are On Guard beadlets. So these are there's 125 of them in here. So these are great to have for on-the-go travel because they're portable and easy to use.
Mm-hmm.
You can take these internally, which is what they're made for, but you can actually take a beadlet, put it in your palm, like Alicia just said, without having access to the oil, and break that between your the palms of your hands and use that as a hand sanitizer if you have nothing else. So I don't like using alcohol on my hands because it really dries your hands out. So I like using natural, I actually have a hand sanitizer that I make that has a little aloe in it, which is much more nourishing, and then a bunch of essential oils. So that's another option as well.
Yeah, and the little beadlets are a 1/4 drop of essential oil in each one. Let's see, peppermint. So going back to peppermint, peppermint is energizing. It opens the airways and it helps wake you up. So if you're going on like a road trip where you're going to be in the car for a really long time, awesome to have a drop of peppermint to put in your hands, cup, and breathe. Also, they make peppermint beadlets. So this is good not only for energizing you and waking you up on your trip, but peppermint also really helps to aid digestion. So if you are on the road and you happen to eat something that you're not accustomed to, or it's just not sitting right, peppermint can help with digestion. It also helps with nausea. So if you're just traveling in the car and you're like, oh man, not starting to feel so good. That happens to me if I'm reading. Like I'm fine to be in the car, but if I read like a text message, I get a little woozy. So you can have the peppermint beadlets with you on the go for that. Peppermint is also safe to be taken internally, so you can add a drop to your drinking water. You always want to use metal or glass containers. And just real quick, I know we've mentioned this in the past, if your bottle has supplement facts on it, that means that it's safe to be taken internally. If it just lists your ingredients on it, that means it's not recommended to be taken internally. So that's just a real quick reference, good way to know. Next up is ginger essential oil, peppermint essential oil, and Digest Zen essential oil. Again, this is going to be for motion sickness when you're like in a car or at an amusement park on the rides. Digest Zen is your friend. It's the digestive blend, but I use it now for so much more than just digestion. When it's that time of the month, I use it for my cramps on my stomach. When you're feeling nauseous, it absolutely helps. My favorite way is to put 3 drops in my hand and rub it right onto my stomach. You can also do 1 drop in 4 ounces of water, take it like a shot. What do you think? How do you do it?
And if you're using, usually I take it internally because I think immediately I have a pretty sensitive stomach. And if something I ate is bothering me, it's easy to get it internal, allow it to coat my stomach and calm what's going on down. But if we're talking about, I'm nodding a lot because I'm not an amusement park person anymore. I used to be able to ride every roller coaster, and now I can't even ride a kiddie roller coaster without feeling completely nauseous and having to close my eyes the entire time. So, and being a mom of 3 boys, that doesn't work so well because they
want you to go on
the rides. So I remember a couple years ago, a friend and I, who both have the same issues and can't do amusement park rides, took all of our boys, 5 of them, to the amusement park. Not a good idea. So we had to both suck it up and end up being green-ish at the ends of certain rides.
Oh man.
And this was prior to oils. So what I would do now is ginger, peppermint, Digest Zen, even something like fennel is going to be very supportive. You don't even have to put it on internally. Just smelling it, so waving it under your nose when you're feeling nauseous and green and just, something's not right. Waving it under your nose and allowing yourself to take a few deep breaths, or taking a drop or 2 and putting it in your palm, cupping over your nose and really taking some nice deep breaths in will help as well. So it's not, you don't even necessarily have to have it on your body to get the beautiful benefits of the oil.
Absolutely.
But again, be prepared. So if you know you're going to Dorney Park or you're going to Great Adventure and you don't ride rides well, or it's going to be sunny out, it's going to be hot, then grab some oils and have them with you so that you can enjoy the entire time rather than feeling crummy.
Absolutely. So in the car, there are car diffusers. You can have them with you on the go. So I now have two. I've upgraded from one to two. The first one that I have is a really small little clay pot, and you add about 20 to 25 drops of essential oil to it. It hangs from my rearview mirror, and when the sun hits it, it warms up the oil, and my whole car smells amazing. Now, the second one I got was a gift from a friend, and it plugs into, or it clips onto, rather, the air vent, and it has like a little felt pad in it, and then I can add, maybe 3 to 5 drops of oil to the little felt pad, and whenever I turn on the heat or the air conditioning, the oil, I smell really strongly in the car. Again, it smells great. So that's a good way, again, to have the oils with you on the go in the car. And then lastly, we're going to talk about Serenity and Vetiver for helping with deep relaxation and maybe even sleep on a long flight, car ride, or plane ride. So obviously, if you're the driver, you don't want to be smothering yourself in those oils. But if you're in the back seat or you're on a plane, Serenity, the Restful Blend, is amazing. I use it almost every night in my diffuser for sleep. And it also comes in a soft gel. You can take 1 to 2 capsules of it to help you with sleep. I have some friends that are experimenting right now with using Serenity a lot in their evening routine. They're really kind of hell-bent on getting off the sleeping medicine that they've been on for a lot of years. And I don't advise like, do this and stop taking your medicine, but they're kind of experimenting on their own with that desire to not have to take that pill all the time. Do you want to talk at all about Vetiver? I know you love that one.
Yeah, I love Vetiver. So we don't use Vetiver daily. None of us have trouble sleeping, but if we're traveling, like we have a long flight coming up this summer for vacation, and Vetiver for sure will be coming with us. Especially when you pull in the combination of you're traveling, you're going someplace different and fun, and you have kids, they're excited and ramped up and like overtired.
Right.
So getting them to kind of calm down and just be,
Right. Just chill
out. Especially on a flight when we're in confined spaces. So we love to use Vetiver on the bottoms of our feet. And I actually enjoy the smell of it now. I didn't at first, but I'll put it on my wrists and on my neck as well, or over my heart. It's a very earthy smell. So if you don't like that, then you can combine it. Like you can diffuse it. You can diffuse it with lavender. You can diffuse it with other oils that are more pleasant. I don't mind the smell of it.
It's a root, right?
Yeah.
It's a root.
Yeah.
So it comes from the earth.
Very
It smells
earthy. Like
earthy.
it's a very earthy smell. What else was I going to say? We make, like, I have a little roller, like this one is called Tranquil Traveler. That it's, because it's hard to get, it's very thick, so it's hard to get out of the bottle. So it's good to throw it in a roller so that it's easy application. It's diluted, it's ready to go. We'll throw this on the bottoms of the kids' feet, up their spines, and let them kind of relax and chill out. The other thing with traveling is when you go, so we're staying in hotels, we're possibly staying with family members, we're not in our own beds, we're not in our normal routine. So our schedules kind of get disrupted and we don't sleep as well. So it's always good to have an oil or something to help support yourself and kind of guide you into that, okay, it's time, body, to rest and relax and chill so I can take on the next day. When we disrupt our normal schedules, things get all out of whack. And then we end up coming home and we're overtired and we need a vacation from the vacation and all of that kind of stuff.
I always say that.
Yeah.
I need a vacation from my vacation.
Usually we're just so active and so excited and things. So we want to make sure, again, that you're prepared. If you're going to a hotel, grab a diffuser, throw a diffuser in your bag with a few oils. Make a little roller and throw that. How much space does any of that take? It doesn't really take up much. So be prepared. Again, kind of going to be a theme of this class.
So the last thing we want to talk about is picnics, barbecues, and just some other kind of random fun tips that didn't have their own category but needed to be mentioned. So we'll start with adding a drop of lavender essential oil to a glass of cold lemonade. Definitely do that.
And if it's too strong, like if you're
Yeah.
just doing one glass, lavender is very strong and very floral.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually do a big, huge pitcher and do a drop.
Mhm.
It's too strong for us. It's too florally scented or tasting. If that's too strong and you just want to make a glass, then take a toothpick and dip it in your bottle and just do a toothpick swirl.
Mhm.
Or less than a toothpick swirl is just dip the
dip.
toothpick in and dip the toothpick in. When you swirl it, you're actually getting more. So there's ways to get less than a drop, and just know that for any of the oils that can be ingested. But it does give a nice flavor, nice refreshing flavor to the lemonade. You can even garnish with a fresh sprig of lavender flowers.
Yeah.
Ends up being pretty, and
Mhm.
like if you're hosting or anything like that. And just as a side note, Alicia and I did, was it last month?
Last month, yeah.
Last month we did an entire class on
Cookouts
barbecues,
and cocktails.
picnics, cookouts, cocktails, mocktails, all of that kind of stuff, like how to enhance. And that's recorded. So it's not on my YouTube page yet because I'm slow for all of that, but it is on Alicia's. So it is recorded, and you do have access to that as well if you want a lot more detail for using oils in cooking and in barbecuing and stuff. We're just going to kind of give you a few little tidbits today.
Mhm.
So the lavender is one of them.
So next is using lemon essential oil to clean the grill. So you can combine it with Castile soap and vinegar in a spray bottle. Now, have you done this on your grill before? Or
We
like,
have, and we have, so we have do you know how the grates of the grill get really gross?
Mhm.
We just recently, I think probably 2-3 years ago, purchased a grill that has the cast iron grates, which is so much nicer. But we'll take those off and scrub them down really good, usually before the season, mid-season, and then at the end of the season, just to kind of, we don't do it all the time. And then we use a good grill brush to really scrub it down. But lemon is a degreaser.
Mhm.
So we use it a lot with cleaning. So I'll use it to take off stickers and things like that. But because it's a degreaser and you add that Castile soap in, it's really going to scrub that grill down nice. If we tend to get grease or marinades or rubs and things, at least my husband does, all over the grill. So it's nice. It's nice to be able to wipe all of that down and have like a clean, nice surface that's not filled with chemicals. Because again, we're trying to avoid those chemicals.
And it's amazing to me when I use the lemon. I use it a lot when I'm taking the labels off of my bottles and there's that like kind of sticky, gunky residue. It's amazing to me when I put a drop of lemon on there and I just swipe down with a washcloth or a napkin, how easily it comes off. So that's a great one to use. Spearmint. So you can add a drop of spearmint essential oil to a glass of sun tea. Every time I put spearmint on my diffuser bracelet, someone's like, "You smell like gum." But I use lavender and spearmint. This is a total side note, but I read somewhere that they are good for public speaking. So I always put lavender and spearmint on before a big public speaking event. So again, use the toothpick dip or the toothpick swirl, which we talk about extensively in our cookouts and cocktail video, if one drop of spearmint is too much for you.
Spearmint is a lighter flavor than peppermint.
Like
peppermint, you could use peppermint in sun tea as well. Any mint pairs really well with like a tea, like an iced tea. So we'll fill a glass up with ice, put the sun tea in, and then add usually a drop to a large glass. But the spearmint is kind of lighter. Peppermint is more potent.
Yeah, I agree.
So again, you can play with what you like. But the other benefit of this is, yes, we're adding flavor and it's nice to have something different and tasting different, but you're getting the benefits of those oils as well. So peppermint and spearmint are both great for the digestive system. So if we're sipping on a tea, like we're helping our digestive system. So yes,
it's a win-win.
Yeah. So keep that in mind too when we're looking at barbecuing and picnicking and cocktails and drinks and things. When you consume them, you're getting the benefits of the oils as well.
And how great to be able to leave a picnic or a barbecue and feel good, not
Right.
leave
Not
feeling
overfull.
sick or over full or like, oh, now the whole next day is ruined because I'm not going to like feel well. So you're going to be really taking care of yourself inside and out with these oils. Do you want to talk about marinades? Because I have like zero experience.
Yes. So again, this is something we talked about at length in our cookout class, but all of your spice oils, all of your so your herb oils, your citrus oils, so rosemary, thyme, oregano, lemon, lime, wild orange, tangerine. Let me think. Spice oils would be like even cinnamon, black pepper, cumin, cilantro, all of those. We have the actual plant, right, that we use in foods and in recipes. But if you run out and you don't have it in stock, oils are a great replacement. 2, I like to create a lot of marinades and dry rubs and salad dressings using oils because I don't, especially in the winter and fall, I don't always have access to fresh ingredients. And I'd rather, like, I know where these oils come from. I know they're really quality. I'd rather use them than go to the store and use a non-organic herb. Right. That I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it was farmed, and I don't know what chemicals and pesticides are on it.
And they're really expensive too.
When you buy, like, they are. And yeah, you need 2 sprigs, but you have to buy a whole plant and then the rest of the plant.
And then you throw it away.
So it's just nice. So when you're looking at a marinade, a dry rub, it doesn't have to necessarily, or even a salad dressing, it doesn't necessarily have to say use these oils. Let's use a salad dressing, for instance. You have basil is great right now. We're getting it at our farm, and we've been using it a lot. So let's say you have this awesome recipe that you use with fresh basil leaves, but then it's midwinter and you don't have access to fresh basil leaves. Well, grab your basil oil and put a drop of basil in it. And it's something you'll have to play with if you don't have an actual recipe. And there are plenty of recipes online that you can just Google and Pinterest, marinades or dry rubs or things like that with essential oils. But you can also play. So if there's any sort of food recipe that you're wanting to use an oil in, then start with less. You can always add more. So if we're doing a salad dressing, right, start with a toothpick swirl. And if it's not strong enough and you want some more basil, then add another toothpick swirl or play like that. It's harder for it to be too potent and you need to dilute with more ingredients. That's much more difficult.
And I think in the last video, we did conversions too. You talked about the conversions if you're using the dried herb versus the essential oil. So go back to that video if you want to check that out. Next up is you can add lime essential oil and cilantro essential oil to homemade guacamole. My mom is the guacamole queen, and she makes it for a lot of the classes that Stephanie and I teach. She also uses lemon, interestingly enough. So a drop of lemon, a drop of lime, and a drop of cilantro oil, all added to a pretty big batch of guacamole. She's usually making it for like 8 to 10 people, so it's a lot. But that's excellent. It gives it a nice extra boost, extra kick of really great flavor. And then so the last thing that we'll say that's just kind of a random thing is peppermint oil, going back to that for the 50th time today. It can naturally repel ants and spiders. So you can put, thumbs up. So you can put a few drops onto a cotton ball and put that, in the area. Like if you know the ants are coming in from somewhere, definitely put the cotton ball right there to stop them. But if you're not sure and you're just kind of seeing some ants in your kitchen, just put a couple of peppermint cotton balls on your kitchen counter. It might bug you if it's not like aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but the worst thing that's going to happen is your kitchen's going to smell great and you're going to get rid of those ants without having to pay an exterminator to come in, which again is going to be pricey. Plus they're just spraying chemicals all over, which drives me nuts. Peppermint.
And 2 quick things I want to mention.
Oh my God.
So we have all of those essential oils that we showed you, but doTERRA also makes diluted rollers called the touch rollers. So here's a Breathe roller that's pre-diluted. These are fantastic if you have children. One, it eliminates, how much do I need to glue? What is it safe to use on kids? All of that kind of stuff. So these, my kids use a lot. They're right on our counter, and they'll tell me whatever their problem is, and then I usually send them off to get a certain oil to rub on, and they're so used to it now they know what to do. But my other point in all of this is these are fantastic for travel. So I have this cute little bag, which don't ask me where I got it from.
I was just gonna ask you
Maybe
where you got
Etsy.
it from.
I don't
It's
know.
So cute.
Probably Etsy or something like that. I didn't make it, someone made it. But it opens up and it fits 10 of those rollers perfectly, and then it closes like a book. So I always have these with me. Like this gets thrown in our travel bag, so that I have, in here now I have the Touch Kit, which is the top 9 oils that are very common to use, pre-diluted, ready to go. And then I'll probably throw like one extra additional roller in there. So that's good for travel. The other thing I wanted to mention was I wanted to chat really quickly about our citrus oils. So this is lime, but lime, lemon, tangerine, wild orange, grapefruit, bergamot. I think those are the main ones. And then any of your blends. So if it's a blend and it has an oil, a citrus oil in it, so you'll have to look at the bottles, read the ingredients, and see if it has a citrus oil. You want to use caution using them topically on skin that's going to be exposed to the sun. So they can cause sun sensitivity for 24 to 48 hours. So what I do is I don't avoid using these oils, but I'm not going to put these oils on my face. If it's sunny out, I'm not going to wear them on my diffuser bracelet, because what happens with my diffuser bracelet, it's rubbing up and down on my arm all day long. And if I know and I don't always know what I'm doing from day to day. So, and I don't pay attention to the weather till it's actually here and happening. So basically once warm weather starts and the sun is really shining, I avoid citrus oils on my diffuser bracelets at all times. It's just safer for me. Because if it's rolling up and down on my arm and then I'm laying in the sun at a lacrosse game or whatever else, I can get sunburned there. And that's not safe and that's dangerous. And why would you do that? There's so many other beautiful oils that you can use topically on that skin that's being exposed. So just avoid it. Now, let's say I'm wearing what I have on today and I really want lemon oil on me. Then I'm going to put lemon oil under the clothing. So that it's not exposed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, so that's what I do with my allergy roller. It has lemon, lavender, and peppermint, and I love to rub that onto my chest because then it rises up into my nose and I breathe it in. But if I'm going to be outside walking my dog or riding my bike, I'll rub it down onto my chest a little bit lower where my shirt's going to be covering up so that I don't have to worry. And you can still use your citrus oils in your diffuser. You can still add them to your food and your drink. You're just, again, not putting them on your skin anywhere that's not going to be covered by clothing if you're going to be outside. And outside for a while. Not like I'm walking from my car to my house.
Right.
And
I'm not saying it's not a definite that it's going to cause you to burn either. It's just a caution. And so again, why expose yourself to something? It's not necessary. There are other options. So if you have the allergy blend and you love using that, don't apply it to your sinuses. If you know you're going to be out and go lay in the sun, it has lemon in it. So we don't want to do that. Apply it to your feet or apply it to, an area, your stomach, wherever, because it's going to get in and it's going to be used.
The bottoms of your feet are the largest pores in the whole body. So especially if you're like, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, just apply your citrus oils to the bottoms of your feet. And then that way you're safe. You're not going to hopefully have the bottoms of your feet exposed. Maybe unless you're at the pool with your feet up in the air doing like a handstand underwater or something.
For a long time.
10-minute handstand. And Stephanie and I, we definitely err on the side of safety with the oils because I think I can speak for both of us. We want to make sure that everyone has positive experiences and these oils are like enhancing your life in a really pleasant, wonderful way. We don't want you to have to worry. We don't want you to have sunburn from the oils. So we're trying to just educate everyone on, erring on the side of safety so that you're always having a positive experience and reaction to your oils.
And the other thing we don't want you to do is to overuse them, to use too much, because why? We if you don't, they're potent, they're pure. What's coming out of each of these bottles is very, very strong. So when we say have a roller diluted, ready to use, it's easy. We don't have to think about it. And we're not wasting the oils, because we want to maximize what we're spending money on.
Absolutely.
So, we have lots and lots of recipes. If anyone is interested in recipes we've been using or making and things like that, but you can also go to any of our great references, Modern Essentials, The Essential Life. And then I even sometimes Google and will look for specific things and then pull things that come up. I never use just one recipe because that's the way I work. But I'll pull different recipes and kind of combine them and research and create something new. So if you're traveling, if you have things coming up this summer, then reach out to us and we can kind of help and guide and direct you as to what we would recommend bringing with you, so that you're prepared and not left burnt and overheated and cranky, not feeling well, nauseous and green after an amusement ride. We can help and guide you through all of that and have a safe and healthy and happy time this summer.
Absolutely. So we'll be back next month. We're doing one of these classes every month. So we'll see you guys back in July. And I think what we'll do now is shut off the recording and then take questions from the folks watching. So thank you all for watching. I'm going to turn off the recording now and we'll take any questions.